That's has put Gary's fault, I reckon.
Right. Hopefully, that has resolved the issues.
Well, what do you know it has? It seems like it has. But yes, we did see your comment, ads, and yeah, definitely agree that it is Gary's fault.
Yep, so not much action still, ladies and gentlemen. There's a couple of guys pitting under the safety car, which is both the Mercedes drivers, who like they've just double stacked with softs, creating communication between the drivers there. But with it'll be 9 laps to go. I mean, it's going to be 9 laps under the safety car, so what's going to be 7? My math is so bad. It's going to be 8 laps under the safety car.
When they cross the line, it will be 9 laps.
Yes. As thank you very much, ads. Thank you very much for doing the drink. It is very much needed.
Yeah.
Safety car is in this lap.
But hey, timed that well, didn't we?
Hey.
It seems like Monza just brings out the I wouldn't say the best races, because it's not always necessarily the best races, but the most eventful races, we'll call it for that. I'm absolutely still right here gutted, absolutely gutted for Jaff, and
Yep,
surely would have been his first victory. Surely.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Between him and Pines, anyway. But the safety car's thrown everyone off, and Groundsy's got going.
Yep, Groundsy got going. Pines has been caught sleeping there for certain. Shadows might look for a move here. Depends on how he holds it. Whether he can get closer down to turn one, perhaps try to outbrake the Red Bull driver. Being spelled off it, but yeah, Groundsy's checked out there.
Yeah, really good restart, but Pines has already clawed back in 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths in fact, and that could probably be down to the traction off turn. No, because
as Legends and Shadows are at it, both respecting each other. Legend has a snap coming up the exit there on the way down to Lesmo 1. As Diamond Deuce was going with the move on Shadows there, perhaps pushed him a bit wide there, but Shadows on the safety car restart having a nightmare and dropping 2 positions in a matter of 2 corners. Not what the Aston Martin driver wanted there at all. But as you're about to say, Pines now clawing the time back to Groundsy, who was just 4 tenths down there. Yorkie gets the move done back on Silverside Boy.
Looks like he might have picked up a warning there coming through Ascari, but he did get the move done, so fair play to Yorkie. He's already got 1 time penalty. I reckon he doesn't need another.
No, not at all, as Garrett's got very close there on the entry of Parabolic and backed off ever so slightly. But Pines on them fresher mediums, piling down to turn 1, and whether he'll try to outbrake the AlphaTauri driver, looks for the move, backed out ever so slightly, but Pines hungry and wanting to get past Groundsy as soon as possible. Pines and the Red Bulls definitely got the better, as you imagine, got the better traction than 4 lap-old mediums, but needs to get moved on as soon as possible, really.
Yeah, and well, the sister team of the Red Bull proving a thorn in the side of Christian Horner's team from Milton Keynes tonight. Yeah, we'll see how long Groundsy can keep this up for, but don't forget, all the while this is happening, his tyres now 18 laps old, 19 laps old next time we go over the line. Is he going to have a look into Ascari? Oh, there's contact! Pines has murdered Groundsy!
Groundsy, ladies and gentlemen, has just been Peggy 18 for the 2nd race in a row, this time by the Red Bull. And Groundsy, I imagine, is going to be absolutely fuming at that.
Yeah, and the thing is, what does he do now? Does he stay out? Yes, he does stay out. He's currently still in P3. He's got his teammate for company now, and that might be a little bit of a relief for Diamond in case he was nearly losing the DRS. Oh, contact between Shadows and Diamond into turn 1. I don't think it's not come to anything, but that was a heart in mouth moment there for the AlphaTauri driver.
Tiddlewink has dropped it at turn 1, and the Mercedes driver's base is just going from worse to worse. Every time a safety car restart happens, he just drops it and ruins his own race, which is a shame indeed, and not something we want to see, obviously. As the top 3 are checking out once again, all within their DRS, or holding DRS for one another. Obviously, one thing that we haven't mentioned here, David, is Pines, who looks like he's just given the position to... I think Pines just given the position back to Groundsy.
Well, fair play if he has. I don't know if the stewards would take that into account. But yeah, at the very least, it's what we're all about here. It is fair play racing league after all. I think he knows he made the mistake, and yeah, he's probably done the right thing there. I think the stewards might have had a word saying you have to let Groundsy pass in the next 3 laps, and he has done just that.
Yep, definitely.
Up the FIA.
Shadows has just gone from move on Diamond into turn 1, outbreaks its AlphaTauri driver, and just about stays ahead as the AlphaTauri driver tries to keep his nose in on the exit of turn 2. Great move by Shadows there. Diamond Dushno is going to be all over the back of Shadows going down to turn 4, I believe it is. But LWS Yorkie, who's just watching this battle unfold ahead of him, is beginning to push the AlphaTauri around. And I wonder if he's managed to up his back pocket, we could perhaps throw a spanner into this battle for P4 currently.
Yeah, I'm going to look a little bit further down the grid, and we're looking at the forgotten man in Jake P10 at the moment. He's had a very quiet race, but yeah, it was all undone in the sprint. He's not been able to make any big inroads in the main race, but he's got Eagle for company at the moment, and Eagle, it just turns out that pit stop onto those hard tyres just 1 lap or 2 laps too early, and he has lost out rather massively on that.
Yep, as we'll jump forward again, and IFC Pines gets to move Dolan Groundsy correctly and cleanly this time down to turn 1. Plenty of time in the Red Bull driver's pocket, and cleanly ahead in the exit of turn 2. And he's got his sights set on Legends, and as I was mentioned before, he had that incident with Groundsy, is that Pines does actually have a 5-second time penalty over his head. So if he wants to try and win this race, assuming nothing else goes in against him, he needs to get a move on.
Yeah, and I believe there's also another penalty being served this race, and that is by Shadows. Shadows currently sitting P4 will actually miss out on that, and he will, even with Yorkie's penalty, he will drop behind him as well. So some big laps coming up. Legends has picked up a time penalty.
That is going to be very crucial in these closing stages, as the top 3 have all within DRS with one another, and assuming Groundsy can keep up with these two, it looks like he could be getting a win thanks to penalties. A lot to ask for the AlphaTauri driver still, but
it's a big ask. It's a very big ask for Groundsy to be able to take those tyres to the end. We've got just 3 and a bit laps left to go.
To jump in, has got them moved on to Legends before turn 1, and he is a man on the mission now who's going to try and pull that 5-second gap, but with 3 laps left to go, it's a very big ask indeed.
Yep, further down we've got a small battle between Mikello. Oh, Mikello's lost it on the exit of turn 1 and he's out.
Ooh, and safety car!
Oh, he was fighting on the exit. No, he was fighting into turn 1. He backs out on the back. There's a Phenom having an issue.
I think Phenom and Lawson together under safety car conditions, I think.
So this is big. This is it's not giving Pines or Legends any time to pull away to counteract that penalty that those guys have. Surely they're going to miss out massively here. This could be huge. And I think that we're only going to get 2 laps of racing here at the end. So maybe you could argue this race is now Groundsy's to lose.
It is indeed, and the big question is, will anyone jump in for tyres here? The top Legends are
You'd be crazy to, surely.
Legends, perhaps throwing away a podium chance here, has jumped in the pits. The only driver out of the top 6 to do it.
I can't believe he's done that.
I can't believe he's done it either, because the safety car has got to come in this lap.
Oh, Tiddle.
Groundsy on the 23 lap home hards. Had the tyre rescue pull off what would be essentially a win, with his driver ahead of him with a 5-second time penalty to serve, the driver behind him with a 5-second time penalty, and the driver behind that is his teammate, who will no doubt try his best to hold off the likes of Yorkie and Silverside Boy. Once again, the stars have aligned for Groundsy.
Yeah, Yorkie, it does have that 3-second hanging over his head, so he's unlikely to get on the podium today. I'm just looking back at the position of Silverside Boy. Looks like he might indeed get himself on the podium if he races well. The safety car will be in this lap, but who's two places behind Silverside Boy? Well, if General Jake gets a move done early on, I can't imagine it. It's unconscionable. Unconscionable. Either way, no Punterino Eagle, please, Silverside Boy.
As the IFC Pines backs the pack up for what will be the last safety car. Just give the safety car some time to go in, Pines, before you go. And yep, he had to lift it off Parabolica, but he's gone now. And he's back the pack up. Shadows is going to look for a move on ground down to turn 1. Will he look for the move? He's going to look for a move on Pines into turn 1 as well. Beats better off it. Groundsy into P3.
Yeah, Groundsy did the right thing there. He knew the paces were lost and he just pulled out a little bit early. And that allowed him to get slowed down and safely back into formation. As Law's retired, what's Law done? Law's lost it on the exit of turn 1. Looks like Tiddlewink also having issues.
Oh no, I think Law's retired on track.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That, does he not know? That's illegal. That is against the law. Right, so all on Pines then. Pines needs to get a 5... He's not going to get a 5-second gap.
It's a big ass in 1 lap for definite. But yeah, Pines and Shadows both need to get a move on if we want to try and keep P1 and P2 back respectively. But Groundsy rubbing his hand together with his teammates sat behind him, and surely team orders will come into effect between these 2 drivers, and no doubt Diamond will be told to hold position and back up Yorkie.
Yeah, looking at gap to leader, that 5 seconds will drop P1 and P2 out of the points nearly. Pines will go down to P10, in fact, or P9. P9? No, P10.
P10.
Not ideal.
Big lap for the 2 drivers ahead. We want to try and salvage any points from this race at all, thanks to that late safety car. You do imagine that it'll just be status quo between the top 4. Perhaps York will try for a spy on the works as we all approach Lesmo, the Lesmos. Drivers taking it now for Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. And all Groundsy needs to do is to try and keep it within track limits and nice and safe, as he is perhaps posting to the line now. As it stands, our P1 man will finish in P7. As it stands, assuming the gap doesn't build anymore. As Pines has dropped it!
Okay, it doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but oh, this is spicy stuff.
Yep, as we come down parabolic, Shadows starts on pole, crosses the line in P1, takes the win on track, goes to P2, Daffodil's P3, Philside Buddy P4, General Jake P5 after the race he had, which is a fantastic result, Times P6, Eagle P7, Yorkie P8, Monkey Point P9, Queen on P10, Legends P11, and crossing line last, I believe it's pin away.
Oh, well, that is interesting.
Yes, indeed, as the game gives General Jake the drive of the day, but we will get round to asking David Lawface to do for a change once the interviews are over. I think there could be a few contenders potentially, it's interesting to see.
Oh, okay. I not even thought about that. Pine's got his excuses in early. Apparently, his wheel downshifted itself through Ascari, and that has sent him spinning. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oh dear.
So yeah, I mean, if Shadows didn't have that time penalty, he has had the perfect weekend. Qualified P1, finished the sprint race in P1, and then finished the feature race in P1. A perfect weekend for the Aston Martin driver, but we do know he has that 5-second time penalty, which will drop him down to P6. Which isn't too bad, to be honest, considering how lap 1 was looking.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. Of course, Pines managed to recover a P6 somehow, but he will drop out of the points into P11 with his 5-second penalty. Now the question is here, who do we interview?
I think we've got to interview the top 3 on track. I mean, Gary is officially on the podium once pens have been applied, but I think it'd be rude to not at least give Shadows an interview after his perfect weekend.
Absolutely. No, I can find him in this list. Don't leave. Don't leave. View gamer card. Invite to party. Let's get the douche in. Bosh. I've been caught out by douche's profile picture. It's a nightmare fuel Harry Maguire. Oh, that's 2 out of the 3. Let's see if Shadows is joining. If he's not joining, I'm going to be very upset.
Let's just see. As we're just waiting for confirmation if Shadows is joining up, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a hard no.
Oh.
So the question is, Mr. Lolface, do you want to get Silver Fraud Boy? Hashtag Silver Snitch.
Silver Stick Shift.
Hey. Or shall we just go with the 2 we've got in the party currently?
No. We'll let him have his word. That word will be yes, that will be a word to be chosen at a different point. Right.
So, Mr. Lolface, if you want to interview Gary and Groundsy, I'll do Diamond Douche.
Righto. Well, thank you, TJ. And I didn't think of that before I invited Gary, that I'd be the one interviewing him. But welcome to the party. Welcome to the Podium Sitters interview. Gary, it's been a while since you've been here. Before the interview starts, make sure to include your audio.
I'll make sure this time.
Good boy. Right, Gary. Monza.
Yeah,
It's a track of mixed histories for you, but clearly it went okay for you today, didn't it?
yeah. Sprint was going well until the kerfuffle in turn one. I got caught on that Diamond's rear end and got front wing damage, so I couldn't really push at that point. But I just
I
stayed
can't
behind
blame you.
Jeff. Nah,
He's got a
it
fantastic rear
it
end.
I got orange front wing, and I just tried to just stay in front of whoever was behind me. I don't know who it was, but yeah, had to consolidate to P4.
Yep, and a few incidents in the feature race brought out a couple of safety cars. So you decided to, under the first one, you decided to pit for the hards. Was that with a view to going to the end of the race, or did you know you'd have to stop again
So,
later on?
uh, well, I tried to take a book out of Groundsy and try and go to the end, but under that last safety, well, second to last safety car, my tyres were about 50-60% after doing 18 laps, so there was no chance I was going to make it. So I just chucked on the set of mediums and went to the end after that.
Yeah, and fair enough. So on that incident into turn one, um, some might say you were a little bit lucky, but there was actually another incident which I've just thought of. The start of the feature race. Yeah, you had a fantastic host start, and yeah, you were into the lead for the braking zone at turn one, but you did brake a little bit deep. Is
Yeah.
that the entire issue, or was there any contact?
So obviously, watching the two races earlier on this week, I've seen countless people miss their braking and just take the thing, just to take the runoff. So I decided to take the runoff and just give the place back to Shaz. Even though I was in front, I still gave the place back because I didn't want to gain the. I was more terrified of getting a penalty, but because I gave Shadow the place back before I came back on track, it didn't give it to me. But yeah, I was so desperate to get into turn one before him. I just missed my braking just by an inch, and yeah, I just couldn't stop in time.
Right. Well, fair enough. A good race from you, nevertheless, Gary, and you picked up P4 on track and initially P3 due to Shadow's penalty, but who knows? Who knows indeed. So well done to you. I'll hand back to Tidjum.
Yep, thanks, David, and yep, congratulations, Silverfield boy, on your P3
Oh,
provisionally.
you couldn't be nice for one time.
I can't show we've been nice on stream, Gary. Come on.
Remember
But
this
anyway,
Sunday.
I will move on to a very sexy man indeed, and Diamond Douche. Congratulations
Hello.
on your P2 on. Well, it'll be P2 in the end. Well, provisionally. What a what an interesting couple of races you had. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah. Well, even though I was only 10th, quali was quite strong. I didn't think I'd be as quick as I was. And then the sprint seemed to be going okay until I think it was Mikolo hit the back of Jake and caused a massive pile up. So then, yeah, didn't bother pitting with no front wing because it wasn't that bad and I could still go around the track. I gave up the positions where I thought I was going to hold up people significantly, mostly through Ascari. So ended up P13, and then yeah, the main race just everything fell into place quite nicely for the strategy.
Yeah, it's certainly like every time a safety car come out, you were primed to jump in, put a fresh set, and were in the right position to gain positions. I suppose the main question, the main thing I'm interested in is, as that last safety car come in and you're sat behind your teammate Groundsy, was there any thought to team orders? Were you tempted to try and make a move to try and gain extra position, or were you just purely holding position, trying to hold Yorkie's effort off?
I was never going to put an attack in on Groundsy. I said before the race I was going to play rear gunner, and towards the end that's how it panned out. So yeah, no, I was always going to stay behind him.
What a teammate, ladies and gentlemen! What a fantastic teammate Diamond Douche is. And yeah, I was unsure if you would try and make a move, but no, what a teammate and helping Grounds' championship out definitely. Last question. Obviously, we move on to Spa next week. How are you feeling about Spa?
I like Spa. It should be. I won't say that I'm massively quick on it. I just enjoy the track. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Never know. Might be here next week interviewing as well. But congratulations on
Hopefully.
your P2 after pens applied. And I will hand back across to David to interview Groundsy.
Thank you very much, TJ. Congratulations to the douche on his podium today. But yes, there's one man who sits atop of everyone else come the finish of the race, and that is Groundsy. Ignoring the fact that Shadow's isn't here, of course. So Groundsy, anyway. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Shadow's just got a penalty.
Yes, he does. But technically, we'd have had him in
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So let's talk about your race then. Obviously, the early pit stop under safety car, as TJ mentioned, that you were the tyre whisperer, and was that the plan all along, just to go to the end?
Yeah. I was hoping for an early safety car anyway, because I knew I could take cards to the end.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, so the later on in the race, we saw with about the crossover for the hard runners to go on the mediums to the end, lap 14 or 15, we had another safety car, and you saw Pines in front of you come into the pits. Were there any thoughts at that point to match what he was doing, or were you just happy to keep track position on this occasion?
My strategy was set after lap 1. I would have been like 10th if I'd have pit, so that wasn't an option really.
Yeah, well, fair enough indeed. As it is, Pines did actually, he came out in P2, but unfortunately his race was kind of ruined by the 5 seconds looming over his head. But nevertheless, you picked up a decent position today, and so the next round is going to be at Belgium. We've heard some words on Belgium so far. Let's hear a few more, shall we? What are your thoughts going into that race? Can you do another tyre masterclass?
Maybe, but I cannot stand it. I don't know how you can do it. I can't get round there with any sort of speed.
Right, okay. Possibly challenging times
Before he
ahead
wins
then.
Again.
Yeah, he's definitely in.
Don't believe him, he's a liar.
Yeah, well, not everyone's like you, Gary. Anyway.
Just so you know, there's a middle finger up pointing at you on my TV,
right.
at the TV.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question.
Do you see Michaela on lap 1? On the stream?
I think they saw everything.
Yeah. If this is a stewarding question, it should be left to the stewards.
He's reported me for spinning on his screen. He spun in front of me and I crashed into him, which is not my fault. But on his screen,
well, anyway,
I touched him.
Well, that's interesting indeed. The stewards will, of course, have a massive look at that, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll hand it back off to TJ. So thank you, TJ.
Yep, thanks, David, and congrats on your provisional P1 Groundsy. Just a very quick word to Shadows. As I mentioned, he's had the perfect weekend, qualified P1, crossed the line in P1 in the sprint, and then crossed the line P1 in the feature race. Definitely take that and your record boot, Shadows. Fantastic drive from yourself, mate. As I can see, you are absolutely gunning for grounded to try and get a penalty here. Which we'll see if what the stewards think, and if Groundsy can get any sort of defence, or if stewards can do something about that cliff. We'll wait and see. But we've got one last very important question, which I need to ask my co-commentator, Mr. Lolface. Can you please
Before you
pick your
choose
driver of the
yellow
day?
full damage toll race.
Stop trying to fucking rig it.
I
You
started
already won the
13th.
race.
Well,
You ain't getting it. You always get it.
fortunately, my
Get it.
mind was made up. One thing I
That's me.
did sort of realise about 5 minutes ago is that we haven't been doing driver of the day for the sprint and the feature, as far as I know. So I am just going to submit my preference for the feature race tonight, and there's a few names that stick out. Of course, we had Groundsy who did his usual tyre whispering, but to be honest, at this point,
And
floor
had no
damage,
floor.
whatever. We know he's fast. He can look after his tyres. Yeah. That's no surprise. He does it every week. General
Shame.
Jake showing a good recovery after incidents early on in that race, and he picked up, I believe, 9 places in the race, which is very good indeed. But actually, the guy who impressed me the most, I think, is probably going to be Diamond Douchey. He started P13. He finished
did as well, yeah.
P3 in the feature race, and it's not an easy
And-
track to do that, especially on full traction.
And he could have won if he wasn't such a good teammate.
Yeah, quite possibly.
No, he would have.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, my driver of the day is the douche.
There we have it. Congratulations, Diamond Douche.
Thank you.
Driver
Thank
of the
you.
day for Monza.
That's not a shock.
Don't let Gary.
No, it's
forward
not
you
a
to
shock
that
because
one.
I'm good, Gary. That's why. That's why it's not a
I
shock.
didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Beep, beep, beep.
Gary
We get
firing
the pews
shots.
in chat.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do tune in again Sunday night, where we see our Tier 4 drivers take on Monza. And then next week, as mentioned, we take on Spa. And with that, I do thank you once again. I am TGM1992, and I have been joined by
Mr. Lolface himself.
Have a good weekend, everyone, and enjoy your Easter.
Eat chocolate,
Get fat.
live long.
Oh.